Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and I really gotta put away this excuses, Come on, get out of your bedroom, out of the house. And if you are in your house, especially, it's such a beautiful day here, and I think like in the 70s or even a little bit warmer, is to open up your windows, let the breeze come in, and you can come outside and visit Starlight out here. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Sorry about this. Starlight's just adjusting here. Yes, you could subscribe. Plus, don't forget you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends. Let's see. Oh my! A white butterfly. I see a beautiful, it's either a moth or a butterfly, because I'm like, wow. I'm going to show you really quick how beautiful this is, Starlight's wall here, but look at this. When I say look at that baby, that is so beautiful. This is what Starlight does all the time with my camera. And I would have had this brick wall for background, but the lighting was not that good. So anyway, yes, you could share my video. That's in the shade, so it's hard to say if that's a moth, kind of in the shade area right now. But yes, that is so white. So yes, you could share my videos with a white moth, I believe, or a dragonfly. Yes. Woohoo! What does it mean when you see a white moth or a blue dragonfly? What does it mean when you see a blue dragonfly? Just check it out, So besides sharing my videos, you can also check out my playlist, and you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I love you so much, and I have to say thank you to all of you. Hey, I got a notice, bring Karin. So thank you all. Those of you that are here watching my videos, supporting me, loving and supporting me, subscribing to my YouTube channel, or leaving a message down below. Yes, thank you. And those of you who share my videos, thank you all. So anyway, we all need each other, whether you want to admit to this or not. You need me like I need you. So we're here to help each other out on this life journey of self-discovery, spiritual journey in life. And so anyway, today, the topic today is people change like the weather. Who can agree to? Yes. Look at all those hands. Wow. Raise your hand if you believe that people can change like the weather. Wow. Look at all these hands. They're all raised. Everybody agrees that people change like the weather. First, you can have people that, I love you. I want to get married to you. And then they disappear. Then there's people that, aren't we friends? And then you don't see them again. And then there's people that, we are friends, but then they don't stick around. People will come and people will go. Bye. That is why, sorry, I got like stuff flying in the air here, like some sand and stuff. But that is why it's so important not to be in a rush to say, we're friends. Because one day, they're claiming that they are your friends. Next day, you don't even see them. Where did she go? No one knows. And so, and that's why you have to be picky. Be picky is not, I used to think being picky was a bad thing, but now that I'm learning and growing, I realize being picky is really important. Being picky about the kind of food you eat. What kind of food do you eat? Is it really to help you to live a long lifetime, or is it to put you in the grave early? You can figure that out, right? Most of the time, we know when we're eating or drinking something or smoking something, we know if it's going to help us to live a long life or to put us in the grave at a young age. So you have to decide on your own what kind of food are you eating, whether you drink alcohol or not. And I was finding out, not too long ago, I was always hearing like 1 glass of wine a day is good. But then I found out actually no wine any day is even better for your health, because really you think about it, I know what it's like. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. You could start saying, yes, I'm drinking 1 glass of wine a day. Starlight's been there. That was my justification of why I was drinking. Yes, this is the red wine that's supposed to help with your heart. Before I knew it, I was drinking 2 glasses of wine every day, And before you know it, it ends up being more and more. So, those are some reasons why it is best to not drink any wine. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. But anyway, back on this topic today is about being picky, about who you have for company. People change like the weather. There's days that it's sunshine. They send you beautiful messages and they call you up and they proclaim they love you. And they proclaim that they're there loving and supporting you. And then when you don't do what they want you to do something, but when you don't agree doing that, then they disappear like Roadrunner. Beep, beep, they're gone. Hey you, I thought we were friends. I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything. So you got to understand, if you're going through that in your lifetime right now, it's not you, okay? It's not you. They are going through something. I get this on my YouTube channel where people get offensive. They are sensitive. And guess what? I'm a Virgo. I am empath, yes. So I am sensitive too. So I'm not saying I have arrived to this. We all deal with this at certain degrees in our walk here on planet Earth. Like if you tell me that you go through life and people could say all kinds of shit to you and it never affects you, I really don't believe that. I believe it affects us, whether we want to admit to that or not. It's just that some people are better at dealing with it than other people. And so sometimes people get offensive or sensitive about certain things, and then they don't want to get back out of their turtle shell because they feel that you're attacking them when you're not. It's not anything to do with you, it's them. It's something that they got to truly 100% accept themselves, who they are, and they have to be their own cheerleader. We can't really rely on other people, even though we could have people that are cheering us on. But what happens when they disappear? Like, where did you go? You gotta really be the one to be your own cheerleader, because people do. You can have people in your life, it's sunshine, everything's going great. The sun, it's beautiful outside, and then they get offended. Now, it's not beautiful and sunshining anymore. The sun's not out anymore. Now, the clouds are coming in, and now it's pouring out. They are crying inside, and it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It has all to do with that person. They have to realize that you have a life too, and people can't expect you to do things because they say, hey, I want you to do this, and then when you don't do what they want, then they're no longer there. Well, it has nothing to do with you, it's them. They're the ones. Are they even being real? Are they even who they say they claim to be? So are they wearing a mask, proclaiming to be someone they're not? And you see through their bullshit, and you're like, hey, I could see that you're wearing a mask and you're not being real with me. That's why. I am not doing what you want. I gotta, it's all about protecting my energy at all costs, and it's so very important to do out here, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, is to protect your energy. And that's why, you gotta be aware that people change like the weather. Like I said, it could be sunny, rainbows and butterflies and dragonflies and birds and all this and bees, and before you know it, it rains. And sometimes, in some cases with people, is, I have met people right here at this park, like, hi, and you're like, wow, I don't know you, but that's really beautiful. And then before you know it, they're cursing you out because you might have listened to a song or listened to a video out in the park, and they're like, ah. So yeah, there's people that they're all sunny, hi, and before you know it, I mean, lightning's coming out, they're like cursing you out. That is why it's so important to protect your energy from anyone. It could be your family member, your members, we are all family here, we're all connected, but you could have family members where one day they're like sunshine and all that. Believe me, I've had this going on in my past. And next time you go and visit, storms are rolling, you're like, holy shit, what did I freaking walk in on here? Like, and then you want to get out, you're like, you know what? You'll do anything to get out of those situations. Believe me, I have been there where I'm like, I've only was in there, in their house for like 10 minutes, and I didn't know that they were just, they were dealing with the past. And I was like, I think I went to the wrong house. I got to get out of here, because if I don't, that energy is going to eat me up. It's going to overtake me, because the energy is so toxic, so not good for your health. So people do change like the weather, so now I'm not no doctor, but there's people that say with bipolar, they're ups and downs, but we all, if that was the case, then we all have that flow of, when shit happens, we go down and we got lessons to learn, and it could be, who knows how long, depending on how you react and respond. You could be down there for a while, and then sometimes you just got to sit with those emotions. And it's easy for me to say that right now because everything is like sunshine here, but it's not easy when you're going through the shit, is when you're going down in the valleys and the universe is trying to teach you some lessons in life. And when I say universe, you could, God, whatever, but, there's going to be times that we're going to go down in a valley, and that is when we're going to learn stuff. That's when we're going to learn who we are. That is when we're going to learn so many things, lessons that we got to learn, people we got to let go, things that we got to learn to love ourselves, and, not try to be people pleaser, and, where you can go through some sad times, and that is absolutely okay. You don't want to run away from those emotions. You want to sit with those emotions and like, okay, I don't like this. This doesn't feel comfortable, but really, when we have days like that, when we're feeling sad or upset, it gets us to be appreciative of the days when we're happy, doesn't it? It's like, hey, I got through those, the low times there, like a bipolar, what they say, claim that, that's their label, we're all labeled, they got us all labeled, in so many different ways, like you're white, like this would be the labels that Starlight, the way people label is that you're a white female. You're, before when I had my own cleaning business, which Starlight felt better, I'm an owner of a business owner, but / cleaner. But a cleaner is not just who I am. I'm many things that, I'm many things. I'm a little bit, a lot of things, believe me. Woo! And you are too, you got to look at yourself and say, what are, you're not just the job that you work at, what kind of job, like a police officer is not just a police officer. There's other, he's a father, he could be a husband, or so many different things that police officer does or is good at. He could be a Mr. Fix-It. He could be really good at gardening, all these different things. So anyway, is you got to understand that we're going to have those highs and lows, and that is sometimes we're walking into people that are having a really, their low went really down, and that, there's times that people might want to end their life when they get down. They get so upset, and because their thoughts that are not their own, they're letting those actually control them at that moment, with the past experiences. Believe me, I've been there, where you're like, why did this happen to me when I was a kid? Why, and I'm thinking of somebody right now, is why was I beaten as a child, by my family that was supposed to love me? So when they go down, and then you walk in their house, and like, you called like a couple days ago, say, hey, I'm coming over for the weekend. They were great at that day, and they were sunshine. Hey, I miss you, can't wait to see you. And then you go to their house, zoom, there you are at the house, and you're like, you just want to run out. Oh, I gotta get out of here. So it's like, you know what, I drove an hour away to get to your house, but you know what, I instantly realized I gotta get going now. It was great seeing you, but this is too intense for my ass. I gotta protect my energy. I love you, but right now they just need that alone time. They need alone time right now. They need to spend some quality time alone with themselves. So people will change like the weather. I'm your friend. I give you a hug. Now, I'm not your friend. That is why I put videos out here. So important to understand. They could be your friend one day and not the friend you next day. Hey, where did you go, So it has nothing to do with you. Understand that. It's absolutely what they're going through. They're going through something, so don't take this shit personal. That it's not about you, it's about them. They're going through shit you don't understand. They're, and then they, whether they're being real, are you even being, are you really a female? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you really who you say you are? Because that's why it's so important, especially with me being a YouTuber. I got to protect myself. I can't just go out and like, hey, yeah, I'm just going to go, spend time with people I don't even know, I never even met, So you got to be careful. You got to protect yourself. So that is why, you got to kind of wean into things. A lot of times we wean off of things, but this is, you kind of like feel people out, stay your, like, find out about them, ask questions about these people, find out, hey, do we got anything in common to even start being friends? Like, I want to know about you. If I don't know anything about you, how can I say that I'm your friend, or you're my friend when I don't know nothing about you? So you gotta find out, like, are you, being the change that you want to see in the world? Are you working on yourself, or are you being pulled by the wind in the world, by, whatever everybody else is doing, by the crowd, and you're just being pulled by, hey, the crowd's over this way. Yeah, let's go and dance and party over here. And then the crowd's, now some people think by doing all that, that's fun. Hey, if you want to go and party, you want to have fun, hey, have fun. But this is not who Starlight is. No, Starlight is, I have a mission out here, and that is why it's so important that I protect my energy, and I am mindful of the kind of people that I have in my life. So you need to be mindful of the people that you do have in your life, and, being alone with yourself is absolutely okay. So you don't need to have a whole crowd of people to be around, to be happy in life. By spending time with yourself and going within that's gonna help you to find out who you really are. But you want to protect yourself and be cautious of who you're around, because test them out. Are you really my friend or not? Well, I guess you're not my friend after all. So and listen to your intuition. When something says something's off, I don't believe they're being honest with me, listen, I'm telling you, this has saved my ass more than once, is my intuition will tell me the truth, and the truth will set you free from a lot of hurt down the road. So anyway, I love you so much. So people they change like the weather, hot or cold, are they hot today? Like in the Bible, it says God wants you to either be hot or cold or least lukewarm. You know, God wants you to be either on fire for Him, or if you don't, you know, like, you got to pick and choose. What path are you picking? Are you picking to serve God, the Creator, you know, Jesus? Or are you picking the road of the devil, you know? So either you're on fire with God, or you're cold as ice. You know, God doesn't want you to ride the fence, you know, playing, hey, yeah. No, that's not what God wants. God wants us to be on fire for God. Not that we're going to be perfect, but we're going to give all that we can to serve, you know, to do what we're here to do, whatever your mission is. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. You could give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. You can share my videos with your family or friends. A ferret, plus a weasel. And you can also check out my playlist, plus find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook and as Kathy with a K, Digna Starlight. I love you all. So I'll tell you what, watch out, you know, when the storms are brewing, you know, that, you know, like, you gotta really check this out, you know. If that, do you want to stay around when the storms are coming, when they're all that stuff? Not Starlight. You know, I want to be around people with a positive vibe and who are real, being as real as authentic as I can. People that are working on themselves, people that are making changes. Not that they're perfect, but they're doing the best that they can. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.